Welcome or welcome back to the Film and TV channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. And today we have a little mini-series. It was 8 times 22 to 29 minute episodes. They're not very precise on these. It used to be in the old days when they used to be on TV and they had to fit adverts in and new programmes in. But yeah, they go with the flow, don't they, on the streaming services these days. So today we're going to look at a dark comedy thriller. It's called The Woman in the House Across the Street from the Girl in the Window. So we've got a little bit of I Know What He Did Last Summer, blah, blah, blah with this, haven't we? And that's how it's aiming with this dark comedy thriller tag. How did they do? Well, we'll get on to that in a minute. Please, the channels are monetised. If you can follow or watch any of the ads or follow any of the links, it'll be great helping my channel going forward. And, of course, my other little channel, my Citizen channel, my football team, Manchester City. All your support is very much appreciated. Please press that notification button. Give us that thumbs up as well, guys. It's really great to get those. I do get a lot more on the footy ones. I'll try and get at least 10 on these film ones, guys. So if you can get that thumbs up for me, that'd be great. At least, if I can get at least 10, make an old man very happy. Some will get a lot more, but obviously just generally for these sort of little mini reviews, if you like, of stuff that's been on Netflix and Amazon and stuff like that. If you can give that a little thumbs up, absolutely brilliant. Right, let's talk about this. Yeah, dark comedy thriller created by Rachel Ramraz, Hugh Davidson and Larry Dorff. It's a parody. It's a parody. I think that's the word, is it? Of a mystery psychological thriller. The series stars Kristen Bell in the lead role, Michael Ealy, Tom Riley, Mary Holland, Cameron Britton, and Sam Sarah Yet. And the series released on Netflix. As I said, please check your territory if you don't have access to Netflix or whether it's streaming in your territory. It's certainly on here in the UK from January the 28th, 2022 on the Netflix channel. So as I say, please check your territory. Yeah, what's it about? Well, a heartbroken woman named Anna is unsure of whether or not she witnessed a murder. So we've been here, bedroom window, all that sort of thing, due to her almost daily habit of pairing medicines prescribed by her therapist, assumed to be anxiolytics, and I can't even say it, guys, anxiolytics and antidepressants. I don't take them, so I'm not too sure how to pronounce them. She often, then again, I probably wouldn't do anyway. She often has hallucinations. She does. We get a bit lost sometimes in this about when she's hallucinating and when she isn't, which sort of is all right in small doses. He might go a bit over the top in this, though, but more on that in a minute. Anna is also often outcasted by members of her community. No wonder she's a bit of a nutter, guys, and that's the northern slang for not quite with it, including her new neighbours, and labelled crazy. Regardless of being sure of whether she witnessed a murder, Anna investigates the situation. Yeah, I mean, in her past life, obviously, she's lost a child, so it's no wonder it's sent her a bit doolally, let's be honest about it, guys. Is it any good? Let's have a look. Well, as at the 2nd of February 2022, when I'm doing this little vlog, the scores on the various stores, if you like, Rotten Tomatoes, only 52% of 46 reviewers were positive on this, which isn't great. It does get an average rating of 5.9 out of 10, which is just under that magical 6 out of 10 I like to see. So not a total disaster based on that. I did see that before I watched this thing, so I thought, well, I was optimistic that it was okay. The website consensus: if this send-up of literary potboilers suffers from being as glacially paced as its own whopper of a title, at least Kristen Bell makes for delightfully deadpan company. She does a great job in this. Metacritic, the other critic site we'll look at, well, again, 49 out of 100, so even less. That's based on 21 critics, and 4 were positive on it, 14 were a little bit mixed, and 3 of their critics were in the negative, so not great. And it scored anywhere between 25 out of 100 and 100 out of 100. Whoever's on the 100 out of 100, I'll have a pint or whatever they're on. The playlist, Brian Tellerico, he's give it 25. He was one of the low scores. He said, if the Thing characters weren't as dispiriting enough, the plotting is insanely ridiculous, but never in a way that's entertaining. Of course, our increasing obsession with killers and victims is fertile ground for parody. It is. but this show never really qualifies. It's a bizarrely dry show in terms of humour. Yeah, I will take some of that on board and agree with some of what Brian was saying there. But Richard Rooper, that we look at from the Chicago Sun-Times, we go over to him sometimes, he'd give it 75 out of 100, so he was much more positive. He said, it's ludicrous, it's way over the top, it's cheerfully offensive, and it's an absolute hoot. I use that word as well. I didn't realise he'd used it. Perhaps that's where I got it from. Thanks to the spot-on performance from Kristen Bell, the insightful scripts from writers who clearly know the genre, and the deft directing work by veteran Michael Lemmon, best known for Heathers. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the directing presentation. I thought it was excellent in this. That was one of the positives for me. Internet Movie Database, Joe Public, the guy like me, you subscribes to these channels and watches them. 6.4 out of 10. So there we go. That's sorted into it. It's watchable. It's okay. That's 11,173 people have bothered to leave a score or review. And of that, I've ignored the 10 out of 10s, and there are quite a few. I've ignored the 1 out of 10s. 6,777 scored it anywhere between 6 and 9 out of 10. And 2,372 didn't really like it. They scored it anywhere between 2 and 5 out of 10. So that's 74% positivity. So there's all the facts, stats and figures, guys, and comments from various stages. What about my little 2 penny? You can turn off now because you're not into what I think. You got an okay film there, haven't you, by the sound of it? Okay series, anyway, by the sound of it. No, let's just finish this off with my little views. There was no legs in this to do 8 times 50, 55-minute episodes, that's for sure. So I was quite happy with the 8 times 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, etc., minute episodes. It just about got right. It was just about right for it. And I did binge watch it, but it would have been all right over 2 or 3 nights as well in them sort of segments. It wouldn't have been too bad. But from the conclusion to this series, obviously they're going to try and desperately wring another series out of it. Whether they should or not, I'll sit on the fence a little bit. To be honest, despite the presence of Belle, I think she was wonderful in this. I just about had enough of it, to be honest. But even in these little episodes, as I said, I did binge watch it, which might have affected. If I had binge watched it, I might have not been as not bored, but not been as unexcited or unentertained. So by the time you got the big killers reveal, I mean, well, let's think of Scream here. I'm not going to tell you which one or more. In the final episode, it's all gone a little bit silly for me rather than clever. And I say this clever dark comedy, as I say, it was just daft at times rather than really, gallows humour and going, yeah, like that in a good way. It was just a little bit too silly rather than clever. Some of the little subplots, etc. I mean, the problem with this is that, as you said before about these hallucinations, the main protagonist is a bit of a lush, of course. She's on the tablet, she's on the alcohol, and sometimes it's hard to distinguish what she's thinking, what she's thinking in her mind that's real and what is actually real. So, as I said, in little snippets, it's all right, but it does happen quite a lot in this series. It is, within the constraints of the length of time it was on, which is less than 4 hours. But yeah, if done well, it can be very, very effective. This, of course, it can when your imagination kicks in, and then you're it's only a dream, or it's only an hallucination in this case. But in this 4-hour journey, approximately, it's just a little annoying for me rather than clever. So it didn't really work on that side. Some of the plots, as I said, the subplots and the little plots are strange, not always in a good way. But there are elements, I mean, having said that, there were elements that were okay. I mean, it is scoring well from the reviewers and critics, etc. And yeah, there was stuff in it that was okay and I liked, but it just got mixed in with some silly things that I thought, even for a dark comedy, psychological thriller parody, was just pushing it and just a little bit daft for me. I mean, obviously, Belle's performance was excellent in this. So, overall, not a total disaster, but certainly nowhere near a masterpiece either. And it tries very, very hard, but the comedy and humour, I think one of the critics said it before, it just isn't humorous. It just isn't that funny, or the dark comedy just doesn't work. And not a series to easily recommend. There will be people who like it, and there will be people who think, what's a load of rubbish? And I don't wonder. So, it's hard for me to actively... I couldn't say to a person, if you like this, you'll like that. If you like such and such a comedy, dark comedy thriller, you'll like this. Because I can't, as I'm thinking back to the parodies, the Scream parodies, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and the sort of things where they did parodies of horrors. And there's nothing, I can't say, yes, if you like that, you'll like this, because it's just not on a par. It's just not on a par with it. So if you can turn your brain off, perhaps, as I say, you don't have to worry too much about who the killer is. That'll be revealed, or killers will be revealed by the end of the thing. If you just turn your brain off, go with the flow, it's okay. It's okay. It's not, it didn't make me laugh particularly. Some great, as I said, it's well set, some good scenes, but sort of mixed in with a bit of rubbish, to be honest with you. And it is silly rather than, I'll use that word, it is silly rather than a hoot. And thankfully, you can just about put up with it, I think, in 25-minute average episodes, which is what it was done in. So my score, I'm not going to give it a watchable 6 out of 10 because I'm not 100% convinced that I can recommend it to everybody. So I'm gonna do my splinters on the bum score of 5.5 out of 10, which means it's okay. I wouldn't ever probably in my life go back and watch it again. Would I look forward to a series 2? I'm not bothered either way. If I miss it. So yeah, so I will give this 5.5 out of 10, but it is a funny one. It is a funny one. But most people, critics don't particularly like it, but most of Joe Public seems to think it's okay. And I think that's what I thought. It's okay, but one scene easily forgotten, apart from Miss Bell's obviously performance, which is probably just worth watching the 3 3/4 hours, 3 hours, 50 minutes, whatever it works out, just for watching her performance, to be honest with you. That sort of helped make it for me. So let me know what you think, guys, anyway, if you get to watch this. As I say, it's on Netflix as I'm recording this on the 3rd of February, 2022. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. What we're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, catch your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. It's with me here again on the Film and TV channel. I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.